Good morning. We are out of the frying pan and into the fire. I remembered to charge my camera this morning, but I forgot to charge my microphones. So I'm going to use the default microphone on my camera instead, which isn't all that bad of a microphone. It's just not as good as my official microphone. I really wanted to talk about a couple of things, but now that I'm here sitting down trying to remember what those things were, they were just in my head too. That's frustrating when you had something fresh in your brain to talk about, and then the second you decide to sit down and talk about it, you lose track of it. And that is, I guess, the unfortunate reality in which I exist right now. I've got thoughts in my brain, but when I try to commit them to thoughts in a video, they're just gone. They're just poof, gone. I feel like I got an eyelash or something. This person behind me is probably like, what in the world is this guy doing? I'm trying to get to the darn post office. It's very difficult to park at the post office when you're on the opposite side of the road because of the weird slant that the parking spaces are at. I'll be right back. I remembered the thing now too. Alright, I'm here to talk about the value of one's time, because, and I feel like I've talked about this before, but it's not something that's as easy to value as you might think. Or maybe you're in the camp of people who think that time is impossible to add a value to. I would say time is impossible to add an accurate value to. I would not say it is impossible to value at all, because as much as you hate to face that reality, you already add a value to your time when you accept a job, and you are then accepting that your time is worth 20 bucks an hour, or 15 bucks an hour, or 30 bucks an hour, whatever it is that you have agreed to be paid for your time. And like it or not, that is something that you have agreed to. And I will say that time ultimately is precious and priceless, but in a world where we have to exist in a place where time can equate to money, we have to be able to value it somehow. And I have been struggling here quite a bit with the idea of mowing my own lawn, because it is a very time-consuming process, and it's not the most time-consuming thing I've ever done by any means. There's worse things, and there's better things that I can spend my time doing. I have, however, worked very hard and tirelessly to be in a financially successful and stable place. And so when I consider throwing all of that away for the sake of not having to mow my own lawn, it's a tough decision to make, because it's like, okay, do I not mow? There has to be a more direct benefit for me. It's like, if I'm not going to spend the 3 hours a day that I normally would spend mowing, then what am I going to spend doing? And that becomes the question that I face, because the reality is, like, the price of getting my yard mowed for me is low enough that I really am tempted to do it, because using the model I talked about before, which is I've already agreed that my time is worth X based upon where I work and what I've agreed to be paid. So using that model, if I am spending 3 hours a weekend, just for example, if I'm making $20 an hour and I'm spending 6 hours a weekend on mowing the lawn, that's 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday, then that means I've valued that task at $120. It's $120 a weekend, or 6 hours of my time. That's the exchange rate. And the mowing service offers mowing for $55 a week. And so that's a huge savings when you consider the amount of time saved. Now, the unfortunate reality of things is that, of course, it's not a direct savings because I'm not earning money the 3 hours that I would normally be spending mowing the lawn. But if I can convert those 3 hours into something else, something more productive, then I can feel the direct result of my success. And therein lies the potential benefit. Because the reality of things is if it's $55 a week, that's basically $220 a month for the month of March, April, May, June, July, August, September. They say that they go all the way through October, but I would pull the plug in October and I can maintain on my own if need be. But the reality of things is that, I wonder if it's going to be worth it. I've decided to try it for this month and see what happens, because my frustration has been that I cannot, I get a mower and then it just can't cut the mustard, or it can't do the job. And also there's the general frustration of finding the time to do it, because, and I probably should just get a gas mower at this point, because I have a push electric mower, and it dies very quickly, and then it doesn't have power enough to actually get through the thicker parts of my yard either. And so because of that, it's a big old challenge to do anything in my yard right now. And so what I'm trying to figure out is it's definitely, financially speaking, there's no way to make paying someone to do your yard for you make sense, because $220, I could buy a cheap mower, or I could buy another battery for my current push mower for cheaper than that. And that's kind of the reality that I'm staring down the barrel of this reality right now, where it's I could buy a new battery, brand spanking new battery, every month and still be ahead of paying someone every month. But at the end of the day, I only have 48 hours in my weekend, and those 6 hours of weekend time is precious time that I can be doing literally anything else. And so what I want to do is I want to set up an actual exchange and be okay, I'm not doing the lawn for 3.5 hours as I normally would, or 3 hours each day as I normally would. So what am I going to do? I need to do something directly beneficial with that 3 hours worth of time. And that's, I think, where I will put my focus. it's all possibly more complicated than it needs to be. And I honestly probably could just buy a brand new lawnmower and take better care of it, and it would pay for itself. Because when I pay $220 a day or a month for the season, let's just say I do March through September. March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That's 7 months. 7 times 220. Math. Let's do 27 times, which would be, 1,400. And then, if I do 220, so I do it again, and that's 140. So is it like 15 something probably at the end of the day? It's probably close to 1,500. And so it's like I could buy a brand new mower, a decent brand new mower for that every year, and still come out ahead if I'm not buying like a fancy zero turn or a rider. If I'm just buying a push mower. And those are the kinds of decisions that have served me incredibly well financially, because it's like, yes, I could pay for the convenience of having someone mow the lawn for me, but at the end of the day, is that all that it's cracked up to be? And I think the answer is no. I think that I can do this myself. I just need to buy reliable equipment, and equipment that is actually able to do the job. I bought this electric mower, which is fine if I live in town and don't have a lot of thick grass and all that fun stuff. But the reality is, like, my grass is very thick. I live in kind of a rural town. I have a decent enough sized lot to suffer having to mow it. And so we'll see what time holds. Are you gonna get over? Because, jeez. Anyway, we'll see what time holds. I really don't like forking out payments every month for the sake of payments every month. I just signed up for a monthly payment in the form of this advertising campaign, and but we'll just see. Like, I'm already talking myself out of it. I haven't even done the first month, but like I said, I need to be able to dedicate those 3 hours to something else productive. I can't just sit on my butt every day like I normally would. Like, I need to do something in those 3 hours. And what I choose to do, who knows? But this will be my experimentation month. Because the other thing is the season's almost over. And so I might be like, alright, I need to figure out, season's over, I'm going to buy a brand new mower next year, and then gut all previous projects that have been made and try and start fresh, and hope that is enough to keep things going. So we'll see. Only time will tell. And right now the story that time tells is, I don't really know. But like I said, we'll just see. We'll see what service they offer. They might offer a great service, and I might be like, you know what? I don't care. I'm fine with spending this kind of money. Well, I also might be like, you know what? That was great, but I need to get off my butt and mow the lawn again. I have no idea. But I'm just trying to find something better. And like, amid all of this, I need to find a way to become popular, because continuing to exist in this, continuing to exist as just this nobody is not gonna keep working. Like, I've proven that I can produce content, but I've not proven that I can sell the content or get anyone on board or interested in it. So it's honestly a very disappointing reality to face, and I wish that I could just, like, and I want to, I just want to hire somebody. It's like, just be the person who markets me. Like, I don't want to have to deal with this, and like, I have to be somewhat invested in it, obviously, but what marketing things I have signed up for thus far have not been all that impactful, and I wish that it were a little bit more, and maybe I should sign up for something a little better, a little more impactful with bigger spread. Like, it's like, these things aren't cheap, and I get it. Like, it takes money to make money, but I feel like I've been sinking money into this ship for a while now, and I've just got nothing to show for it. I haven't really seriously grown my fan base at all, really, and I'm not convinced that this ad program will do that for me. We'll see. And like, I'm not convinced that YouTube's gonna naturally promote my stuff, because it does not perform well on its platform, and I don't know what else to do, really. It's like, it's unfortunate, it's frustrating, it's sad, it's all of those things. It's like, I just want to experience some level of success, make this worth my time. And it is sad, because it's like, I want to exist in a world where creation is worth the time. Like, it makes me wonder, like, am I jaded to not be satisfied enough simply to create? But like, we create things for the goal of other people seeing and experiencing them. There's no point in, and I feel like that's more so the problem with social media than anything, is you get to visually see the lack of people interested in your project or product or whatever, and it's very disheartening. And I'm just stuck in this mode of not knowing what to do and how to succeed. But anyway, I've sat here and talked your ear off long enough. Hope you guys didn't absolutely hate it. I'm gonna go out there and try again.